Hello, everyone. This is Mark Anthony with Paul Farrow, International Patient Advocate. Love that name. And today we're here on the Great Minds of Today. And the Great Minds of Today show is really focused on finding people that think out of the box, that have either built something, company to help other people, or that have a great mind to help move things in the world as we know it forward. And you can find Paul Farrow at XCells.com, XCells.com. And before we even get started, Paul, thank you so much for being here.
Oh, it's a pleasure. Thank you so much for inviting me. Thank you.
Oh, I'm excited. We're going to be talking about XCells, XCells.com. I know that there's a story. We can go right to, of course, the website and what you do and what your company does. But what I'd love for you to say is, like, how did you get started into XCells, and what's the story of the birth of it?
Yeah, I mean, I guess it all started when I was training as a boxer, if you like, but just for sport, just to keep healthy, get me off the couch. Like 15, 20 years of doing that, and as you age and perhaps eat the wrong things, sugar, too many carbs, etc., you start to get inflammation in the body, right? So my right shoulder became very inflamed. I did an MRI. There was no actual ruptures in the tendons, but I couldn't lift my arm. And from hitting the bag and doing all this fun stuff, I started to do some research as to what might be able to help reduce that inflammation. So went to a stem cell clinic, did an IV, didn't inject into the shoulder, did an IV, and within a week I was doing push-ups. So it kind of a penny dropped and said, look, there's something else. There's an alternative to surgery and anti-inflammatory pills and cortisol shots and steroids and all this garbage that they push on you in Western medicine. And then COVID hit and everyone's immune systems were compromised. And I said, well, there's got to be a better way. There's got to be a way to strengthen your immunological response, your immune system, all the different elements of that. Diet, exercise, very important. Wearing a mask, not so good for you necessarily, right?
I'll tell you what, I plead the fifth. I got to have a little fun there.
Yeah.
Remember Fauci, everything. I plead the fifth. I plead the fifth.
Anyways, go ahead. He's in a lot of trouble for pleading the fifth one too many times, right?
Just a couple.
Yeah. They would like to get more information out of him. He knows everything. And yeah, that's another story.
Yeah. We know nothing, huh? Right. We'll just keep on moving forward. We saw that duck. Well, yeah.
Exactly. But yeah, and then I found a course. It was actually a master's course in stem cell biology and regenerative medicine with Bristol University for distance learning. I'm from the UK, although my accent is kind of bastardized now over the years. It started reading, learning. Didn't complete the course, but learned a lot and met so many interesting people from the Middle East, from Saudi Arabia, and they've got incredible stem cell faculties there. And Sheikh Mohammed here for his race horses and for his camels and for his And I met some other scientists through that, actually. One that set up a lab for Sheikh Mohammed and for his camels. And Bob Harmon is his name. He's in San Diego in Poway there, and he does autologous stem cells. It gets to you. Yeah, Bob Harmon is a vet by training, and he's one of the pioneers, I would say. He's become a good friend of autologous stem cells. Definitely look him up. I can give you share his contact with you. And it derives the mesenchymal stem cell from the adipose tissue, from the fat. And he's helped the white rhinoceros, and he's helped all sorts of rare exotic animals that were on the brink of extinction, help them to have a better life and their arthritis. And his motto is "Dogs don't lie." So it's a good one.
Yeah, it's a good one.
It's a good one. So you must look Bob up, and he is kind of focused on the storage of autologous adipose cells, your own cells. Some people maybe don't feel comfortable about putting other people's genetic material in their bodies, which is what we primarily do, which is cord umbilical cord cells harvested from the Wharton's jelly, right? And Bob obviously does it from your own fat reserves in this
Right.
case. Yeah. So they're your own cells. So some people feel more comfortable with that. And he has a storage business that you can, while you're younger and healthier, you can harvest these things, and then your cells.
Smart.
Yeah, it's smart. You've got to submit yourself to a lipo procedure, but it's not that painful, I'm told. And you may lose a little bit of the belly fat, which is never bad. But and then they kind of process them, which is expansion or multiplication of the cells, and then liquid nitrogen and store them for you when you may need them into a shoulder, into a knee, or for just general anti-aging purposes. And going into down that whole rabbit hole of, say, of anti-aging and longevity, which particularly, I think you're in Los Angeles, the Hollywood crowd, and everyone wants to live
Everyone. Oh yeah.
forever young. So,
Oh no. Yeah.
yeah.
They don't even look human anymore. So we're good. Yeah.
Maybe they're not.
It's like, are you smiling? They're like, no, I'm mad. I'm like, okay. It was the
That's
Botox.
the point,
Forgive me.
right? Yeah. So, and a lot of these guys actually come down here to Panama, where I am right now. And obviously, the Stem Cell Institute is one of the pioneers, or the first. I wouldn't say they're necessarily pioneering anymore, but they are first to market, established, and they've got a big celebrity following. They've got all the sort of the American football players, which, funnily enough, get beaten up and roughed up and come down very frequently to get shots in their shoulders, in their knees, etc. at the end of the season to recuperate and get back online. Right. I've seen Elon Musk in a local restaurant with his brother. So he comes down secretly, I'm sure, for stem cells, and all these guys come down and they are drinking from the fountain of youth. And this is when you put these cells into your body in a systemic fashion or an intravenous fashion, the cells go all around the body and they are seeking out oxidative stress. They're seeking out inflammation. They're seeking out the signals of damage and degeneration in your body. And they collect, and they will then secrete some growth factors. They'll secrete the exosomes, definitely one of the big, the heavy guns within their armory, if you like, of tools. And they will help to remove that oxidative stress, really start to calm the inflammation, and signal to the whole environment really to be young and be energetic.
Right.
It helps mitochondrial strength, the cellular energy, helps the actual membrane, the cell membranes. So you as you age, senescence starts to creep into your cells, or aging of cells and malfunctioning. Cells are not firing properly. And then you start to see autoimmune disease creep in, and you see Alzheimer's, if it's the neurological or the cardiovascular, the heart. So these cells start, and the nice thing is that systemically, you're going to get a refresh. It's not that you're going to be 20 years younger. You're going to be, and you can overdo these things. I mean, once every 6 months, maximum once a year is kind of the recommendation on the treatment for a treatment cycle, because again, you push your body too hard in the other way, things could go wrong, right?
No, 100%. So you say Panama, isn't that where Mel Gibson brought his father?
That's correct. Yeah, I mean,
Because that blew up from Joe Rogan, and
yeah. And the thing I like about Joe Rogan is that he doesn't seem to be married to any one clinic, although he is going often to CPI in Tijuana, maybe because of the convenience of the location, and they're friendly guys over there. Speaking of CPI, which is the Cellular Performance Institute, they've kind of signed up with the UFC, another kind of vertical of people being beaten up and needing to come in often for treatment, right, Mark? So you got Joe Rogan kind of, and it's interesting with CPI and talking about kind of evolution of cellular therapies. They are the pioneers really of using hypoxic cells. So when you harvest the cells from the water's jelly, it's the same mesenchymal stem cell that we're all using. But when you are doing the expansion or the multiplication, you are creating a hypoxia or a hypoxic environment, which means you're sucking out a lot of the oxygen. So 2 to 3% oxygen there. And what that does to the cell is if it makes it a lot stronger, actually. If it can survive in and thrive even in that low oxygen environment, when you put it into, say, a joint, into a shoulder or a knee, which is a low blood flow, low oxygen environment, it's going to thrive and last a lot longer than just a standard stem cell. So we're actually doing the same treatments now with hypoxic cells, and I got to say we're getting incredible results. It's fantastic to see the patients. I had a friend of mine and patient who is quite a famous sports agent. He handles all these Premier League soccer players, and he was in recently with a meniscus on his right knee, a meniscus issue, and he couldn't. I mean, he could barely walk. I was like, Victor, what's going on here? Within 24 to 48 hours. I mean, he's not running up the steps, but he's pain free, and it really was very fast. So
that's rare.
It's rare that it's so fast, but it's fantastic to see. So I think evolution of the production of the cells, for example, we're playing with resonance as well. All of our organs in our body, different cells have different resonant frequency, right? So you can guide those cells using resonance, again, to collect on certain organs, whether it's the heart or the areas that need a specific attention. And again, we're seeing good results in early stages. We're a small company, we're a small clinic. We don't have the budget yet to be able to do clinical trials and sort of all this stuff. But it's I think we're really at the beginning mark of all of this cellular kind of the use of what we have inside us, or the understanding to be able to further science and further our own longevity. Yeah,
I agree. I in a way, you correct me if I'm wrong, but in a way, I feel like we're behind. Meaning,
yes.
We've been pushed back so far and the cool thing is I can say this because I'm not a doctor, so that's the cool part. I feel like there's been a lot of forces that have tried to stop the process of what it really can do. Because I believe we're on the surface and we're just barely scratching it.
Are we talking about pharmaceutical companies?
Well, I'm talking just, I think people are smart enough out there, and you and I are, to know what I'm saying is whatever that is to dampen us. Pharmaceutical companies, we know that's a $1 billion industry, billions. But what I'm saying is that when we were stopped back in, I think, 2018, remember we had to change the name. We couldn't say the word stem cells. We had to say mesenchymal. And I think that whenever there's something that's very good that heals, we want to right away put it. If you can't make money off of it.
Sure. But yeah, and again, mesenchymal stem cells are not for everyone. If you have a cancer, and that's why we've got to do screening before, if you have an active cancer, we won't treat you. We shouldn't. It would be very unethical if a clinic does. Why? Because there's growth factors. If there's a tumor, it could
spread.
It could spread. It could. So you've got to be very careful in screening, and not everyone is a candidate for stem cell therapy. Knees, if you're bone on bone and we've got no cartilage, we're injecting into the cartilage to actually help regenerate the cartilage. If you've got no cartilage, well, sorry, we can't help you. And again, you've got to be ethical. You've got to be correct about and discerning about saying honestly to your patients, yes, we can help you. No, we can't. And reputation, sadly, the industry has been really, I don't know about overrun, but there's a lot of unscrupulous people in the industry. And when you're picking a clinic or a health provider, you've got to really do your research. And that goes back down to what we were saying about cells and the production of the cells. In Mexico, for example, a lot of the time they're using bovine media, which means cow's blood, to expand the human cells. We don't know. We're not sure if the cow was mad or he was whatever. He was grass fed.
Hey, but get a happy cow.
Rather, a lot can happen with cross-contamination of human cells with bovine cells. And what are we doing, right? So do your research, check all this stuff. Again, frozen cells. If you're cryogenically frozen cells, they're going to have some sort of a cryopreservant in them. That's toxic. Like it or not, it's toxic. So you want to make sure that they're washing the cell, that they're putting the fresh cell into your body without all this junk. And if it's frozen and they're reanimating it in front of you, you're going to get slippage in the bioavailability. So from 95 to 92 to it's going down, the strength and the quantity of the active cells that you're actually receiving. So there's a lot of stuff, and I think it is education, and got to educate yourself. But then there's so much misinformation out there, it becomes just a minefield, right, Mark?
100%. I'm just kind of curious, just kind of going another lane. What would you say? What are some of the patients that are usually, what are they going through? Like some of the common stuff that you see a lot when they first contact you. I know everyone's different, but
Yeah.
some of the
I
common.
mean, we do have a team headed up by a neurosurgeon and anesthesiologist that have had decades of experience with spine, like pain management for the cervical and lumbar spine.
Really?
And traditionally, before they were applying cortisol, they were applying steroid because that's all that was available, right? And particularly with these hypoxic cells and fresh hypoxic cells without cryopreservants in them, etc. Very important to point out that those can then go into the discs. If the disc is somewhat compromised, again back to this sort of compression, right? Then at the back of the disc, where the facet joint is where the nerves pass through, right?
Mm-hmm.
And you can feel from that compression a lot of pain, shooting pain down your legs in the lumbar. In the case of lumbar, if it's the cervical, it's going to go down through your shoulder into your tingling in the hands. And the amount of patients that have back problems, and what is the solution? The Western solution is fusion. And then you're limited mobility, and you're effed for the rest of your life. And what can come as a side effect of the fusion is also terrible. So it's interesting that if there is enough disc, that you can go into the disc, particularly with these hypoxic cells, low blood flow, low oxygen, but they're going to last, and they help to regenerate that disc, which then goes up slightly. Alleviates the pressure on the nerves. You can then go into the back, into the facet joints, and into either the interlaminal space, which is the caudal space, which are epidural spaces, where they can actually put for the nerves, that is epidural
Right.
nerves, and again strengthen all of the nerve system there and rejuvenate it all, and actually really help alleviate a lot of the pain, Mark. So that's one of the areas that we see a lot of patients suffering, and we see alleviation of that suffering as a result. And
Oh, wow. That's
yeah.
amazing. So what kind of flips me out a little bit is that how, from what I've heard, I've never seen it. So but that is that these cells could regrow the bone, literally. It amazes me even how that to comprehend.
Sort of cartilage and at the bone. I mean, yes, we've seen patients with hips, for example. There's necrosis in there,
Right.
and dead and dying flesh, and they're slowly becoming fused naturally because they're losing all the juice and the fluids, if you like,
Right.
and the cushioning with the cartilage, etc. And we have seen patients reverse that by going in. We have a couple of hips this week, actually, and we'll have to get some of the patients on next time, Mark. So
Yeah, I know, huh?
they talk about how they feel and all this good stuff.
I love it.
Yeah, that'll be fun.
Are you seeing like do you feel like there's a rapid change going on with stem cells? Meaning, since we kind of talked a little bit about it, that like, I feel like it's just scraping the surface. I feel like there's so much more that stem cells can do that we haven't even touched. Do you feel like we're on the cusp, or do you feel like we're just barely getting started,
Uh,
or what are your thoughts on that?
I do, and I think it's just kind of starting. I mean, another kind of area of focus for us is to relieve human suffering is autoimmune disease, and a lot of it starts with the gut. Okay, so your gut is your second brain. It's 85%, 90% maybe of your immune system is stored there, and your whole response. So the leaky gut, you're going to have fecal matter pouring into your bloodstream. And it's just a constant kind of cycle of misery and despair. And you've got to, before they come in for stem cells, it's not a magic cure all. You first have to do the work yourself. If you're not willing to give up the Pop Tarts in the morning, or the whatever it is,
Your poison, whatever it is.
the poison, yes, the
Yeah.
poison. I'm
Yeah.
going to get in trouble
Yeah.
by any of these.
Yeah. You remember that movie? I don't know if you remember that movie. I'm a video guy, so remember that movie Liar Liar with Jim Carrey?
Yes.
Well,
Yes.
there's a
Yeah,
part in there. Yeah, there's a part in there where, of course, he's a lawyer. And he's upset that he's a lawyer, that he can't lie.
Right.
And he's in the bathroom beating the crap out of himself. And
Yeah.
and the lawyer, and somebody walks in there.
Yeah,
What are
I
you
remember that.
doing? He goes, I'm kicking my
Yeah.
own ass. And in a way, that's what a lot of us Americans are doing.
Yeah.
If you look at the American body back from the 70s, they were taking pictures in the 70s and the 60s of the people on the beaches in their bikinis and shorts.
Yeah.
Everybody was pretty thin.
Yeah.
And then they showed it now. It's just obesity. It's becoming an epidemic. And we live in a society where we want everything McDonald's, quick, fast, but I don't want to change.
But
and
I don't want to change.
Yeah, you said it though, work. You got to do the work. And I think that people need to realize that people like XCells.com, they can help you. They can help you get on the right track, but they need your help so that you can be better and excel. I mean, I think that there's a misconception of I'm going to take this miracle pill and I don't need to change. I mean, the Twinkies, we've got MSG, we've got so many preservatives, and I mean, we've got made weed spray in a lot of our food, but nobody wants to talk about that. It's interesting.
Yeah. Well, Dr. Murray Rosenthal. I don't know if you met him, but he's a fantastic guy. He's a very, very dear friend of mine, and family. I mean, really, I'm going to personally introduce you so that you can do a podcast with him, because he's built all these incredible companies, and he's a clinical psychiatrist and a doctor and a surgeon, but a very accomplished gentleman. He just says, I mean, he comes down to Colombia to the clinic and gets treated, and he says, and the food down here, and I feel great and whatever. And then he gets back to the States. He said, there's something in the food. There's something, and he only eats organic, and he does this, but there's something in, they're poisoning. It's, you're absolutely right. It's Roundup, it's whatever, but.
Let me tell you something. So I'm not going to say that I'm a food freak, but I do be careful I'm very careful what I eat.
Yeah.
I mean, I play pickleball 5 days a week, work out 4 days a week. I like to take care of myself. I want to have longevity. I want to see my grandkids if I ever get any. Yeah. My kids are 19 and 16, but thinking ahead.
Similar to mine. Yeah.
Exactly. But here's the thing. I mean, I'll take any stem cell to stay alive to see my grandkids. But my point is that I have to do the work. If I'm not doing the work, it doesn't matter. But here's something interesting. So living in the States, I love bread. Love bread.
Yeah.
And I went. Who
doesn't, right?
I know, who doesn't, man? Come on. I went to the store, and I'm not joking. I looked at every single ingredients on the bread. If you look on every single one of the breads, it says that there are, what does it say? Come on, Mark. It says that, it doesn't say that there's like weed spray on or anything like that, but it does say that you have to be careful and could cause like cancer or stuff like that. And I'm thinking like, wait a minute.
Yeah.
Something's not right. And the only bread that I knew that was good, it was called Ezekiel bread.
Fantastic. I love Ezekiel bread. I love it. Yeah.
But what I'm saying is there's none of these preservatives and all these things. But so it just kind of made me think, why are they doing that. Now, I don't like to say the word why are they, because then I sound like a conspiracy theorist, and then all of a sudden it happens. No pun intended. But my point is that I feel like we're being warned, and this isn't here becoming a show of this or, oh, we got you or anything like that. But when you connect the dots, it doesn't make sense, because if you look in the 50s on up, what they put in there, the preservatives and stuff like that, they were a lot more healthier. Now, if you and I were to go to Europe, what's interesting, there's a whole bunch of thin people.
Yeah.
Because of the food. The food's a lot better. You can actually get real wheat.
Yeah. My mom is from Bordeaux, from the Bordeaux region, from France. She can still put on the same size pants at 75, 76. So when she was 18, and she walks every day, and it's a very different way of life.
No, it is. And it's not even, I remember before it used to be you're going to be censored and stuff like that, but it's gotten to the point where everybody knows, but people don't care anymore.
Yeah. They're because kind of just get thrown in the towel. Yeah.
Especially in the United States, man. It doesn't, they don't care. I remember they used to have these Hostess Twinkies in the 80s. Okay. I'm aging myself. The 80s. Oh my God. They were so good. I don't know if you remember. Remember they had the aluminum foil wrapped around it. They were moist, right? Now.
Twinkies, yeah.
Oh, Lord have mercy. Now, when you look at them, they're like in a little plastic wrapper and they're hard. Like you could actually, it's a weapon. I'm not joking. It's a weapon. But back to XCells.com. Let's talk about, I know there are a lot of Americans that are flying out there. Why would you say that's the case instead of them just going to Tijuana or somewhere here in the States?
I mean, in the case of XCells, we put patient safety first and results equal first. So without compromising those results, we're also looking at squeezing our margins as much as possible. I mean, I have to say, we don't price gouge. We don't do it. I don't feel comfortable doing that. I wouldn't feel comfortable. So we offer really the best value for money, the top quality cells, which ultimately you put the best into your body, you're going to get better results, and the best guidance, the best protocols, tried and tested over years of refining. And a lot of the time, another patient the other day, obviously very wealthy lady from New York, and just said, I want to come down and get my stem cells. And I said, okay, you've got an autoimmune disease. It's gut related. So sorry, but we would like you to do stool sample and this and that and everything else, and then look at it. She's like, I'm going to go with another clinic. I said, okay, because you're not going to get the results with us. So sometimes we turn them down because I don't want anyone speaking badly of us. I want to do this because I really want to be able to help people genuinely. And it's something that, go elsewhere, spend double, spend triple, whatever. Some people ask, why are you so cheap? Well, because that's the right price, because then we can help more people. And they don't get it. They think it's cheap, it can't be good, right? They're very wealthy. It's cheap.
I don't even like that word cheap. It's like
inexpensive, but
my point is like that's the way they're thinking.
Yeah.
Hey, if it's cheap, I'm gonna. But it's like when that lady called you, I almost kind of wish she would have called me. I said, I'm sorry. We'll call her Shirley. I'm sorry, Shirley. You're in the New York area, right? Yeah. So I know New York, a lot of money, whatever. I'm like, hey, no problem. I just want to we're not a restaurant.
Yes.
We're not a restaurant. We are focused on seeing how can we help you or can we help you, because we want to take you and your body to another level. You don't want to play around going to all these clinics. And yes, they'll take your money. You know what I mean? And so I've noticed that with people, I call them hyper chihuahuas, where they just want to just give me, here's money. They just throw it at you, and it's like, wait a minute,
money at it. Yeah,
you know what? I'd love to take your money. Trust me, I have no problem with that. But like you said, I don't need no bad reviews. I want to make sure that we can even help you. You know what I mean? So you should be thanking me. Matter of fact, I'm going to save you money right now. This is worth $5,000 to them. Have fun with them. This is worth $5,000. Let's slow it down. And let's make sure that not only if we can help you, but when we do help you, I'm going to get such a great review from you. You're going to be like, hey, I'll do 5 video reviews sometime. I love the friction for me, because I'm like, what? How can I turn that friction into a positive? And it's really hard when you've got, I'm going to say it, Americans. Very, very, we are very demanding people.
Incredibly. Very supportive.
We are. And we can. And We won't argue with you. We're like,
Yes.
yes. And we don't get offended. We're like, you're right.
Yeah, but you're absolutely right. Is a lot of people, a lot of patients think that it is a restaurant and that they can just pick off a menu. And I mean, some of the stuff, okay, we have pretty much standardized erectile dysfunction protocol and this. But if you're not going to do the work and get to the root cause of the problem, you're
That's
only
key.
going to get a limited response, Mark. Yeah. Yeah.
No, I love it. Now, so I'll give you an example so that the viewers can kind of get an idea. So if I were to get a stem cell in my knee, example, that's going to probably cost me 7,500. What would something like that cost where you're at?
It's gonna be 2,500 using hypoxic cells, using an IV of exosomes, so you systemic signaling coming to support the local shots. I mean, an incredible value package, if you like. We're not including hotels. We can do the pickup from the airport with a bilingual driver. He's great, by the way, Camilo. He's training to be a pilot right now. He's the race car champion of Antioquia, which is the region in Colombia.
I want him to pick me up.
Yeah. He's fine. So, we got a great team, great people. And yes, we can help organize all the hotels and stuff, but some people want to stay in the $1,000 a night El Cielo. They want to stay in the JW Marriott at $350 a night, and others want $100 a night. So we can help guide you. There's dozens of hotels right around us, but we don't want to we want to offer value on the treatment and the rest. That there's the logistics, the flight, the whatever. Yes, okay, but they can still, for less than 7,500, less than 5K, less than 4K, get their flight, get their hotel, have a great few days, a holiday, medical tourism, do some tourism, and get fixed up and go home. Have a great time. So
I love it. It's funny. My background, I used to run the internet department for Mazda, Dodge, Jeep, Chrysler, and did training on basically closing and sales and stuff like that. So it's just in my blood naturally. If I was if just for fun, I would love for somebody to call me and I pick up the phone like you and they're like, well, you're not paying for my hotel and my flight. I go, let me share something with you. We'll call him Dick. Hey, Dick, what if we can get that knee replaced for $2,500 and you get a vacation? Oh my God, that'd be unbelievable. Well, let me tell you something. Where you're at in New York, you're spending about $7,500 to $8,500. You come down here, it's $2,500. Here's the cool thing. Come on down, get the hotel that you want.
yes,
Go to the places you want, eat where you want. And guess what? You would have paid that already in California. So you might as well come over, enjoy the beauty because you're not going to want to come. So it's funny. That's my point. It's funny. It's information. I notice that with people. That's why I love the negative. It's weird. A lot of people don't like negative. I love the negative because I want to see, let's turn that into a positive. Yeah. And a lot of people don't think that way. And I know with you, you have to stay on your feet because you get that stinking thinking of people coming to you and you have to kind of create like a little kid, a picture for them to see on the other side of that coin. You said something about, and it hit me, you said the root cause.
Yeah.
See, a lot of people just want a little patch, a little Band-Aid. You're like, no, I want to see if I can even work with you. And if we can, we want to get to the root cause, everything about your body from your tippy toes to the follicles of your hair. Yeah. And a lot of people don't do that. See, that's that right. Even in the United States, I'd say out of 100 doctors, maybe a strong 10.
Yeah.
That are focused on the whole body.
It's their formation as well, Mark. I mean, they're not really trained to, most doctors I know eat junk. Again, they're on the go, hoofing sandwich or a burger or whatever. I mean, they have no idea on the consequences that they're going to manifest all these problems from their poor diet and choices. And it's decades or years. It's cumulative. It's not just overnight, right? Those bad choices. And that's also why they come down and they want the patch and I want to feel 20 years younger. But okay, it's been decades building up to this. It's going to take a while to reverse this. Yeah. And if you don't do the work, you're on your own. We can shoot you up if that's whatever. But it's going to be limited, the response. And it's important. It's important that you convey that message if you're ethical prior to them coming down. And some we've had, and love to introduce you to some of our patients that have become good friends now because they've had Crohn's disease or they've had lupus and they're now thriving. I mean, just with
Amazing.
abundant health because they're like the light bulb went on. All this has come from decades of poor choices. And now I'm putting good stuff in fuel for my body and da da da. And now, I mean, this lady, Kimberly, she's out here in Panama surfing, a surfing granny in her 60s, and she's just wonderful. And she had lupus, all her markers are zero. So we can really help people. And that's what it's all about. She did the work. And she's now an ambassador for us. She has her own podcast. She's written a book about the emotional side of, say, lupus is guilt.
Wow.
And guilt is one of the things. And then our doctor, young doctor, said that to her, the penny dropped. And she's like, guilt. And she went down the whole rabbit hole. And then all this emotional stuff. And she eats better. Sometimes when she's in the States, she has a piece of chocolate cake. But it's incredible, Mark, right? So we really can help people and guide them to make better choices and to have a better quality of life. And that really, to me, is what this is all about.
It's interesting you say that. You were talking about the lady that's doing the podcast. You mentioned something that a lot of people don't realize is, and they've done studies on this, that a lot of the ailments, like you did say, come from this, you got your second gut. But another thing that a lot of people don't realize is that, and it's it's even a hard word to say, I believe, for a lot of people, unforgiveness, resentment. When we hold on to that creates a chemical, not just in the mind, a new pathway, but a chemical in the body that gets people sick. And I've seen people where certain doctors have said, before I even work on you, you need to forgive.
Yeah.
I mean, that's very interesting, though.
There is such an emotional component to these illnesses. And again, a doc that is the pill pushing doc, a traditional doc, he doesn't address any of that. And it's just, he's getting kickbacks from the drug company. And then those drugs, what do? Cause 10 different side effects, right? So then you're going to take drugs to stop those other side. I mean, shit. And you're in this
hamster wheel
spiral. What we do is we stop that degenerative spiral down into the depths of hell and despair, stop it, and then try to flip it into a regenerative upward cycle and fill people with hope and energy and get them out of that despair and make them address emotions and things that they've bottled up. Some of them can't do it and they won't get the full benefit of the treatment, but there is a psychological and emotional aspect, definitely. Yeah.
Well, what would you say, like, what are there any fears for some people that are, say, patients that are maybe, say, traveling from because you're in Colombia, right? I keep wanting to say Colombia. Yeah.
In Colombia, in
Colombia.
Medellín.
I bet they have great.
Well, I'm actually in Panama right now, but we are,
yeah.
the clinic's there and I'm there most of the time, but yeah.
What are some of their biggest fears, like some of the patients that happen to be traveling to Colombia? Are there any? Or
well, I think like anywhere, Mark, if you go looking for trouble, you're going to find it. Hello.
There we go. Hello, Vic.
Price. Yeah. So there's a case of single guys going down and maybe looking for ladies of the night, should we say?
It sounds like the United States. Never mind.
Yeah. But then maybe they get drugged by those ladies of the night and wake up 2 or 3 days later and where am I, whatever. And they've used the face recognition to access the bank accounts and they've that's pretty. So I would just say, don't go looking for trouble in Colombia because you may find it. But really, aside from that, it's very safe to walk around. It's beautiful. The city, they've planted 2-3 million trees. So actually, they've reduced the temperature by 2 or 3 degrees in the city. So we can do it. We can heal the planet if we want to, right?
If we want to.
So So, and it is fantastic. There's a real gastronomic scene. There's fantastic restaurants around. It's very sophisticated, civilized. I mean, you can buy in a building in a 1-bedroom apartment, $500,000. It's nearly Miami prices for some real estate there, because an influx of Americans and foreigners buying there, because it's such a beautiful city, such friendly people, great service, very service oriented. Medical wise, I would say that a lot of the docs have done specializations in the United States. They've studied, and the clinic or the clinic spaces are as good, if not better, in many cases than the United States. The state of the art equipment, very high standards. I mean, the labs that we work with, GMP, good manufacturing practice, ISO 9001. I mean, all the international standards. They follow FDA guidelines for cord blood handling, all this stuff. So, yeah,
that's unbelievable. That's unbelievable. I'm excited with what you guys are doing.
Yeah, listen? Can you hear that drilling, or is it?
I hear nothing, and if so,
Okay.
what? It's all good, guys. It just means you guys are busy, and that's not on people. That's drilling on a building. Let's back that up a little.
Back there, it's a construction noise. Yeah.
So do you guys? So you do a lot of this on the phone, because I know that people call on the stage. You guys some of you guys jump on a Zoom call.
You go next door and just tell them. Yeah, so another half an hour or something. Yeah, they're drilling away again.
It's okay, but sometimes I think it's good to keep the natural feeling of a podcast, and I feel like sometimes we want to cut everything out,
and it becomes too sterile. Or
no, it really does. If you think about it, it's like so darn professional. It's like, dude, what life happens? You're gonna get a phone call. Hey, something's gonna. It's just the way it is. Maybe your dog pooped right in front of you. I mean, let's just keep it real.
Right. I got my dog laying on the floor there. Yeah.
What kind of dog do you have?
Well, she's a Pomeranian. She's very sweet.
Oh,
she's not a yappy Pomeranian. So, oh no.
If it was if it was in LA, she'd own her own Porsche, bro.
Oh,
and she'd talk to you in English. Forget bark. But just before we land this plane and go straight to Panama plane, where do you see regenerative medicine going over the next, say, 5 years? Just your opinion. Where do you kind of see it going?
So I think we are, and we want to be part of it. We're on the cusp of creating a digital health twin, that with all of these readouts and gadgets and everything else that are constantly monitoring. And with that digital twin, we're going to be able to, with an AI matrix, and see the outcomes of choices or lifestyle choices or before they happen, and prevent them. And I think prevention is the best cure always, right? I think that reading into the future and this AI and all these data centers and all this stuff, it's got to be, as it kills the planet, overheats everything and sucks all the groundwater out and etc. It's also got to do some good. So I always like to think on the positive side, as opposed to the robots are coming to kill us all.
Yeah. The Terminator.
And the Terminator, may well happen as well.
Yeah. Until then, get your stem cell.
Get your stem cell, exactly. The digital twin is definitely going to be an aspect of it. I think there is also the aspect of, and the Chinese are light years ahead of us in this respect, is programming the stem cells to perform specific functions that regenerate the pancreas and cure diabetes. I mean, it's been done. And so this is the present, and the very near future is that these stem cells are going to be able to cure a lot of illnesses, whether the drug companies like it or not. And this is the thing, is how do they patent that? How do they control that? How do they put it in a box and make sure that they're the ones profiting from it? It could be difficult. I mean, you and I as adults, any human has mesenchymal stem cells in their dental pulp, in their adipose tissue, as we discussed before with Dr. Bob Harmon, and also in our marrow. And that's a painful procedure. They go in through the hip bone and down into your bone and suck out the marrow. And they may get 1 or 2 million cells there. But the point is they become compromised as we age. They may not be as strong. They may not, and to get them released back into the body, you want to go into an autophagus state. You've got to do 72 hours of fasting minimum. And people like to eat, as we discussed. They want to but it's in the habit so the convenience of sort of coming down to a stem cell clinic and getting your treatment, the comfort and safety, and it's a good service to offer, right? But the future is, I think in Dubai, they're using artificial intelligence a lot to be able to read outcomes. And this is where where I think we're going with it, is programming the cells, reading outcomes, prevention, and recalibration, constant recalibration to optimize and to extend life. David Sinclair now has identified a protein that if you suppress this protein, I believe you can extend your life or regress your organ state to the time that you were in your 20s or 30s. So there are ways to backtrack, to regress physically, mentally. I think that's another area that's very interesting, is the neurological side and the brain, and the delicate nature of the brain with the buildup of certain proteins, calcification of the brain, and the Alzheimer's, dementia. All of these things soon will be illnesses of the past. Perhaps if you can afford, this is all maybe expensive initially, but we're finding very quickly, the industry, if you like, past longevity, and part of it is really the betterment of mankind. And
could you imagine reversing diabetes, like literally 100%?
Yeah.
That would be
we can't do it at XCells yet. We can definitely help with some of the symptoms, the
inflammation,
and all that stuff. But
right.
That it's the Chinese that can cure it. But they're seeing, I know it's coming.
It's when there's a cure, when you hear talks of saying that the human body could possibly live to 160 and up. They're already, even Elon Musk is even talking about that.
Yeah.
I mean, I think we have the technology. It's just putting the pieces together.
Well, I think Putin and Xi were hot mic'd at one of these things, and they said, we can just switch bodies now or something. And I was like, hey, all right.
No, I know.
They're going to live forever. They got the money to be able to do so.
Oh gosh, yeah. I don't know. I think. I mean,
I can think of other people.
Could you imagine if we lived to Could you imagine if we lived like to a couple hundred years old? We see our grandkid. We're like, wow.
Yeah.
It'd be amazing. I don't know if I want to live that long.
Well, I know, but I think it's okay to live that long as you live with quality of life.
There's a difference. This is
the thing. If you can't get up from a chair, or you can't, and you start to decline, and or your faculty, you don't recognize, it's sad, and it's not really an existence. It's living, extending life, but with quality of life.
That's the key.
And that's the key, Yeah. And that's definitely what we do at XCells. And Mark, it's been a real pleasure. I mean,
you and I keep going on and on. I know. I'll forget that. I know. But everyone out there, thank you so much for listening. And you can call the number on the screen. You can go to XCells.com. Again, XCells.com. And thank you so much, Paul. I appreciate it. I love what you do. I love you being that international patient advocate that's out there saying, hey, there's a better way. There's another way. And I just want to before we get off here, I just want to let everybody know, don't give up. There is a better way.
There is hope, and there are alternatives. And explore, but do your research first. And there's definitely better ways, or often other ways, to be treated or to approach an illness, and to improve the quality of life. Yeah,
man, I love what you do, and I'll be singing your praises, man, because I want people to not only get the value of a better life, but also not having to quadruple spend to get a better value.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, there's no need to mortgage the house, which I think is it's very wrong. I mean,
dude, it is very wrong.
You look at, I have to say, just quickly on autism, for example, and I'm not going to mention which clinics, well, one or two that we've already mentioned, the old guard, and now 85% of their revenue, which is several $1 million a month, comes from autistic children, and they have a standard protocol of 60 million cells IV'd. I know quite a few of the parents, they have not had results, but they are in these Facebook groups with 20,000 members or whatever. There's a few ladies in there that are obviously getting commission, whatever, and just corralling them and say, oh, but next year you'll get better results. And they keep coming back for more. They're paying $17,000 for a treatment that we would sell for a couple of grand. It's just, well, not a couple.
No, I know.
4,000. But it's the 4 versus 16. It's just, it's nuts. And they're not getting the results because they're not using the extra, they're not using the hyperbaric oxygen. They're not using, looking at the microbiome. They're not, so there is a better way. You've got to do your research. And
hyperbaric is huge. That's a whole nother piece.
That's a whole nother thing.
I mean, with like Lyme disease, stuff like that.
Yeah. 8,101 genetic expressions are activated or switched off just from one hyperbaric session. It's extraordinary. And all of them are regenerative, anti-aging, anti-inflammatory. So it supports all these other treatments. I've read quite a few books, so it's great stuff. And that was Dr. Murray Rosenthal that put me onto it. So I gotta introduce you.
Man.
Must talk to him.
Yes, that's unbelievable. And again, thank you so much for being here.
Pleasure.
This was fun.
This was fun. We must do it again.
Oh, no, I think we will. All right, brother. God bless you.